What's the best relationship advice you have ever heard? Confidence isn't I know she likes me. Confidence is I'll be okay whether she likes me or not. That just because a person is right or perfect for you that you may not be the right one for them. Also, just because you love each other does not mean that you're good together long term. I love pizza. I loved my high school sweetheart. Both make my stomach feel bad and I should have no part in either. Don't compare your relationship to others. Practically everyone has a relationship that looks perfect from the outside looking in. Unless you are extremely intimate with your friends, you will never have any idea what that couple's actual problems are until they break up and spill the beans. No relationship is perfect and there will be conflict. What matters is the desire to solve the problem. To add to this, always fight the problem, not the other person. If you keep this in mind when arguing, you'll be able to actually resolve the issue than be mad at each other. The problem is that love isn't enough. You both have to be committed. There may be times you don't feel like you love each other, like you're so hurt or angry that you can't stand the sight of the other. But if you're both committed to the relationship, to the promises you made, then you'll work through it and you'll become stronger. Love without commitment just isn't enough, my mom. There are days, weeks, months where it's hard enough to just like the person you're married to, let alone love him. But you respect him. That respect keeps you from saying the stupid things, or doing the stupid things. Sometimes respect is more important than love. Don't look for a girl you want to treat like a princess. Look for a girl you want to treat like a partner. It's very true. I don't mind carrying my soul, but I need to know she can carry me if I feel down. Don't disparage your so behind their back. I'm talking about watercolor bulls. The old ball and chain is such a shrill nag. Am I right? My husband is such a dumb Neanderthal. He'd be lost without me, etc. Of course, if you have a legitimate gripe with your loved one, then talk to them privately or seek professional counseling. But don't use them as a punchline to get brownie points with other people who probably have bad relationships themselves. Over time, that kind of thing can seep in and undermine how you actually see them. Someone once gave me this sage advice: too late. Don't complain about your so to your friends. You may end up forgiving your so, but your friends won't. Under promise, over deliver. I love to buy her flowers. The trick is to buy them, not when you have done something bad, but when you have done everything right. Perfect way to over deliver. Once you're in a long-term relationship, marriage, never stop dating your so. There needs to be some sort of constant courtship to make them feel you still want them, even after all these months, years. I am an expert at not doing this. Of course, observe if your partner is low maintenance or high maintenance to begin with. If you guys got together because you both love watching movies while cuddling, don't start doing crazy stuff because you must impress. There are a number of people you can be compatible with. No one is perfect. You have to work at love. Bulls, I am God's gift to the world. Don't go into a relationship expecting to be made happy. You have to be able to be happy on your own first. I've heard be the person you would like to date before. In this context it makes sense. You're not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Yes, set them on fire for once. See how they like it. Don't settle for someone who has zero regard for your feelings or wants just because you've been together a long time. Put a pillow under her hips. My dad gave me one bit of advice when I got my first girlfriend. She might pretend she doesn't want dessert. She does really. Order a serving for yourself, get 2 forks, and let her eat it. Desserts are for girls anyway. I see now it as nice little piece of advice, but at the time I was like, frick you dad, that's my dessert. That's how my mom did it. She never wanted to be fat, so she would make us children order dessert and then take bites of it. However, I got fat. It's always a risky idea to dip your pen in company ink. My dad, when I started dating a girl with whom I worked, he was right. I married my supervisor, 27 years, and she still won't pay me for OT. Hating someone is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Before you commit to a fight, ask yourself, is this the hill I want to die on? Unless it's got landmines left from battles long ago, then you can't tell if that crap's dangerous or not. Don't take relationship advice from a bunch of dirty redditors on a weekday. best response to "my so has changed, and it's just not working anymore." If people can change, then that change is ongoing. Marriage is a beautiful thing that allows two people the time and space to safely fall in and out of love many times. Your wife could again become sexual just as easily as a new woman could become cold. I would plead with you to tend your own garden and be patient in its fruits. Paths that have intersected in the past are all the more likely to cross again soon. After 11 years of marriage, I can say this is the best, most accurate advice I've seen in this thread. You can gauge a person's love for you by how they treat you when they are upset with you. Frick, this made me realize I need to treat my girlfriend better when I'm upset with her. Sometimes I can ignore her if I'm upset and I need to change that. Thanks for that. You will try to not go to sleep angry, but if you're planning on spending 50 years together, sometimes some crap comes up that you just can't resolve before you absolutely have to hit the pillow. That doesn't mean you're doomed to divorce. It's not pleasant, but sometimes part of getting over being peed at each other includes a period of being upset and stewing while you calm down and meditate on crap in your own time. What's important is that you don't run away from each other. You may have to get some air to clear your head, but you will always come back and eventually talk it out and resolve your tiff. In the meantime, if you have to go to bed angry, let your spouse know that you're at least there, touch toes with them. It doesn't mean you think they're right, or you're right, or that you miss them. It just means that you're always going to be there even when you're so mad you can't even look at them. If you touch toes even when you go to bed angry, it says, "I don't hate you." Marry the one who gives you the same feeling you get when you see food coming at a restaurant. Man, that other guy got the fajitas. Those smell so much better than the chicken I ordered. I knew I should have gone for the fajitas. A little old lady at my wedding wrote "Love is like chocolate chip cookies" on this signature board we had. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean, but she looks like Mrs. Claus, actually makes really good cookies, and is quite frankly adorable. So I've accepted this as some sort of Zen koan cosmic truth type thing that will just one day dawn on me. Or maybe Mrs. Claus was just high as frick at your wedding. From my mom, don't date a gambler, alcoholic, drug addict, or someone who is chronically unemployed. Unless they're all four, then they cancel each other out. Marry someone with a different favorite cereal than you so they won't eat all of yours. You'll be amazed how much more peaceful life is this way. My GF eats all of my Cheerios. I'm dumping her when I get home. It's completely simple yet so true. Communication is going to get you further than anything else is. To expand on this, communication is more than just talking. People are often bad at really communicating. My dad is my best friend and mentor, and I was talking to him about some problems around the relationship that could cause some difficulties. He gave me one piece of advice that sticks with to this day. Look kid, if she make you happy, and you make her happy, and you two are both happy together, then the rest is balls. Don't let other people tell you how to be happy, just be freaking happy together. To this day, I find this to be more and more true. If you two are happy together, the rest is balls. I read this once and it stuck with me. A healthy relationship keeps the doors and windows open. Plenty of air is circulating and no one feels trapped. Relationships thrive in this environment. Keep your doors and windows open. If this person is meant to be in your life, all the open doors and windows in the world won't make them leave. Make sure you jack off before talking with an ex. What I hear you saying is, what this means is that when you are having a discussion or an argument, you can use this phrase to tell someone how you are interpreting their statements. They can then explain what they mean without feeling accused of something and feeling like words are being put in their mouth. It's especially great because it works for any relationship. When you're going down the pub with your mates and you expect to be back around 11, tell her you'll be back at around 12. So when you roll in the door at 11, you can claim you left early to see her before you both went to bed. You freaking genius. The grass is not greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it. If you are debating between two girls, jerk off and go for the first one you think of immediately afterwards. A relationship is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's probably crap. Love is like taking a dump. Butters. Sometimes it works itself out, but sometimes you need to give it a nice hard slimy push. If you ever feel like cheating, knock one out first and then see if you still feel like cheating. If you don't, you are only in it for the fricking and can't move forward. If you still do, get the frick out of your relationship. It took me a minute to realize you meant masturbation and not cheating as knock one out. Stop trying to find the right person and start trying to be the right person. This simple piece of advice changed my entire opinion on relationships. All of them. Not just romantic, but especially romantic. Love is not a fuzzy feeling you get whenever they're around. Love is a conscious commitment to another person. No matter what, that fuzzy feeling will pass, and too many people take that as a cue to end the relationship. No one is perfect, not even yourself. You will fight, you will say I hate you, you might even separate. But if you make the conscious decision to love each other and forgive each other, you will be together forever, and you'll lead a happier life in the end. If by best you mean worst, my aunt once told me kissing isn't cheating, it's tasting people. That's a very unconventional definition of best. Never change to get a person. If you do, they fall in love with who you're pretending to be and not you. If you must change, change for yourself. Also, never put your dong in crazy. Counterpoint, I'm sure there are people out there who were lazy or unpleasant and changed positively out of love. Love is a decision and an action, not just a feeling. There are times when I love my wife because of the feels. There are other times I love her because I promised her I would. The feelings come and go, but if you stop actively showing love to yourself, the feelings will just go. One of the best couples I know always say the secret is sleeping in separate beds for 1 or 2 nights a week. They say the space is fab and it's a nice and appreciative feeling sleeping in the same bed again after a couple of nights. Oh, look at all these fancy people, with their multiple rooms and their multiple beds. Must be nice. Before you move in with your partner, go on a road trip with them. I'm talking about a good long road trip. Plot out a few landmarks and go nuts. If you want to do it right, you need at least 13 hours straight in a car, at least 1 night in a mediocre hotel in a questionable part of town, and make sure to forget something fairly important. Road trips like that are a microcosm of a relationship's lifespan. You start off optimistic for all the fun you're going to have, but you don't know what kind of issues you'll run into. And oh boy, will there be issues. How you handle those issues when it's just you and your partner away from home will give you good insight as to how you will handle your issues when you live together. If, at the end of the trip, after getting home and dumping your bags on the floor, you look at each other and say, "Where are we going next?" then you're golden. If you say, "We are never doing that again," you need to think long and hard about the next steps of your relationship. My wife and I are taking our next road trip this summer. The person who cares least in the relationship has the most control. I hate how accurate this is. When a couple is in a serious relationship, or married, and split up, do not speak ill of their ex when you are hanging around with one of them. Even if they try to bait you into doing so, just remain neutral as possible and don't repeat gossip about their breakup. Unless, that is, you don't care to remain friends with either of them. It will always come back to bite you, so just don't do it. My father once told me to find a woman that you can stand 75% of the time because achieving 100% is impossible. This is Girl Pepe, she only appears once in every 50,000 memes, like in 3 seconds for good luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.